Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. The fuzzies. Good morning, everyone. Good day to you, sir. Good afternoon. Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All that shit. Christmas in July is coming up. Amazon Prime Day is coming up. Fuzzy's on the mic. Smash the like when he's on the mic. Smash the like when he's on the mic. I'm still really tired. Caffeine pill, cup of coffee. Throw that coffee down your throat hole. It's hot. Oh no. A great segment just now on Tastyworks. Highly recommend you go watch it when you get a chance. Don't do it now. Much more important things going on right now. Retro in the mother house. How you doing, brother? Taking a look at the old wellness sleep. So I got 7 hours and 42 minutes. 2 stars. I've had better. I've had worse. I'm still in a 1.8% credit. Thank you to that 12 hours of sleep I had on Saturday. Yeah, you resort. Yeah, I told you, I think you were off getting stoned when I talked about this last night. This entire week, my plan is just to do whatever dumbass title, like Graham Stephan or freaking Jeremy Lefebvre, or like Andre Dick. It's Andre Dick. I couldn't help myself on that one. I like Andre Dick. Well, maybe we'll get in some. I'm going to do this for a while because it's funny. Like that. So the one I did today was this. Maybe I just do great. Well, I don't think he posts every day though. I don't know how often he posts. So this is the one I did right here. I couldn't do it perfectly because I didn't want to I couldn't get my arm and angle and everything right. So I got a little lazy on it. But I just like a serious warning to all. I threw crypto in there. I could have just left it the same. You know what? Screw it. Let's see if we get some traction off his video from this. Like, is that copyright? Is this copyright infringement or whatever? I don't know. Let's find out. Do you see how disgusting? Are you kidding me, guys? It was right. Well, like it was 4. Now look, I hate YouTube. Is there 3 people? Like, do people really bounce in for like half a second and then leave? So we got 3. It looks like we got 3 viewers. I have no idea if we got 7, 3. But this is the problem. The only person that's liked so far is Farnswoggle P. Horsetooth. And I don't even know if he's watching right now. He's such a bro. Like, he wakes up and it's just part of his daily activity. He's like, is Tom got a video scheduled? Yep. Like, love him. Love Farns. Why can't we have more bros? Hey-o, Costco in the house. All right, now look at this thing. 6 people, 2 likes. For shame. Oh, that is hot. That is so hot, boys and girls. All right. A serious warning. Now, did he all cap? No, he didn't all cap. I'm going to all cap the whole thing. Mine's more important because mine's all caps. What's my serious warning to all investors? It's the same shit I've been saying every day. I will say I was watching So Tasty in the morning. Stock market. Let's see. Is it okay? Market Bully. No. This is a really good show to watch afterwards too. I don't know if they break this up.
I'm the good kid.
Season coming.
Yeah, I think it's just one long ass stream.
Asking why he's yelling at you. People don't know that he yells all the time.
Why are you
I don't ever
seem like you can call it crypto.
I would highly recommend going to this segment right here. I felt oddly, I'm not even going to do it, but I love Victor Jones, who happens to be a black man. Everyone thinks I'm racist.
How did we get here already?
So I would go to this clip right here. I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. Don't go watch it now, but I highly recommend you go watch it later. They were talking about, like, is this the, crypto bear winter? Is this going to be the end of things, the end of certain, is this going to be like the end of crypto? They also talk about, well, I'll get to that in a bit. So anyway, Tom Sosnoff, again, one of the brightest, underrated, some of the biggest alpha in stocks and options ever. Speaking of which, 4 minutes behind. We definitely need to look at the stock market. He made the correlation to the dot-com bubble, something that I've done quite frequently. And he basically said, Victor, you're too young to remember this, but the dot-com bubble, this is very similar to the dot-com bubble. Dot-com web 1.0, right? It was brutal, lasted a couple years, but all the brightest and biggest companies became the biggest companies here, right? They started to rise here. We had the 2008 crisis, and then the companies that survived the dot-com bubble did this, right? They started doing this. Now, this is the DeFi, crypto, more deeper it's not really a dot-com, but it's more like Web 3.0, Web 2.0 bubble, Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 bubble. We can kind of collapse those together, and that's probably part of why it's a crazy blow off top. Anyway, and again, one of the brightest minds in finance, a pit trader, revolutionized option trading. He's learned quick. He's learned DeFi quick. I remember when I was first talking to him, he really didn't know much about DeFi. Now he and he's building out Web 3.0 and, self-custody and all the stuff on Tastyworks. Some of their biggest initiatives is in Web 3.0 and DeFi and all this. And he's like, DeFi is the future. It's going to be a big part of the future. Again, this guy knows his shit when it comes to finance, guys. Like, especially global markets and stuff. He trades everything, bonds, different currencies. He has his dick retro. He has his dick in everything. Not real estate. He doesn't have time for real estate. So those people that tell you have to have real estate, I mean, this dude is probably has over $100 million, right? He doesn't necessarily have to. It probably wouldn't be the worst. I don't know. Maybe he does. He doesn't like actively do real estate. I'm sure he owns real estate. Anyway, he's like, he thinks the same thing's going to happen. That the ones that survive, your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your Cardanos, maybe Solana, but maybe Avalanche, who knows? The ones that survive are going to be the biggest in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's what, be buying your Cardanos. And I got some really, really good hopium for you today. I think. I had some really good hopium. Can I remember what that was? I don't know. I'm sure I can pull some hopium out of my ass today. Anyway, he thinks, the biggest, even like some of the biggest DeFi. So maybe your own finance, maybe your Aves, things like that. And I think a lot of things here, I really think Cardano is going to start blowing up. Like the ecosystem is really going to start blowing up in the next year or so as the Hydra and the input endorsers and the pipelining and the Plutus application backend start getting fine-tuned. Again, it's not much different than Ethereum in the beginning. Ethereum had a lot of problems and, they had to fine-tune smart contracts and all that shit. And Ethereum is still slow. Ethereum still hasn't pulled off sharding. They still haven't pulled off the beacon chain. And I think that merger's has it been delayed again? I think that's been delayed again. So the testnet merged on March. So it merged successfully, but found that one client was not producing blocks as expected. Two parallel, one that operates using and a test chain that proof of stake. The merge will combine. So I don't know if we have a date yet. Oh, it's set now. It's set for August 2022. I mean, what are the, like, if you had to bet, he says the key event's final date is now set. I mean, that's only 2 months away, July, August. I don't know, maybe. And I don't know if this could crash. Is this going to crash Ethereum in the market? You know, some people say it, you know, it's going to make it go up, but a lot of Ethereum's going to be locking. And is it going to be a lot of Ethereum at losses? Are they going to be in profit still? So all very interesting. All right. Anyway, yeah, so they were talking about, and that's not financial advice, but this is what that's why I'm buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and then my high risk on asset, Harmony One, right? I do believe Harmony One is one of the better high risk assets out there. I like what they're doing. I don't know, I don't know what's going to happen to a lot of these basically EVM compatible chains. Once the Ethereum merge happens, if they get transaction costs down, it becomes fast. It's going to remain the creme de la creme. What is that going to do to things like Harmony One? I don't know, right? I don't know. Some people will say, that's why they invest in Cardano. I think that's what Benjamin Cohen says, or someone says it. Oh no, Invest Answer says, I invest in Solana because that's my Ethereum hedge, right? Like if Ethereum fails. I think that's a pretty lame-ass comment, to be quite honest, because the chances of Ethereum failing, if Ethereum fails, it's pretty... I don't know, if Ethereum fails, that pretty much is not going to be good for the industry as a whole. I don't think you can hedge that. Okay, you and a couple bros keep talking this. I don't know what's going to happen with ETH goes sharding. Nothing is going to happen, bro. Why do you say that? Layer 2s are part of ETH scalability, and not everyone gives an F about using layer. I don't give an F. It actually breaks composability. I don't really know what you're saying. Isolates liquidity. Layer 2s do? I don't know what layer 2 has to do with sharding, though. And I don't know what layer 2 has to do with Harmony 1. Are you still stoned from last night, or am I just stupid? All right, so we were talking about Victor Jones and Tom Sosnoff. That was their talk about what's going to happen here. Tom was also asked during a question and answer earlier, and not the Victor Jones part, how long does he think this is going to last? And Tony Batista, the Bat, had his input too, and they both agree that they don't think, I remember what my hopium is. They think the downside, there's a little bit more room to the downside, but even though he referenced this being like a .com bubble, he said, and I agree, everything's quicker now. So everything's going to be shorter duration. So good news, bad news there. And I agree, it's going to be shorter duration, but if this is like the .com bubble, that shit took like 10 years. So I don't know, maybe it would compact down to 1 or 2 years. And then they started talking about the Fed stuff. Really interesting discussion there. Last week, Jay Powell said 75 basis points is not on the table. And then the stock market and the bond market for the next 2 days said no, 75 point is not only is it on the table, you should probably go to 100 basis points. And then basically yesterday there was a whisper from like a source that said, yeah, they're discussing 75 point basis points now. So my guess is I would be shocked if they didn't announce a 75 point basis. Anything lower than 75 points, I would be shocked by. And you know what? Go for 100. Go for 200. I don't care. Let's get this Band-Aid ripped off. Let's get this shit over. This every month. If it not, you know what I'm saying? If it not being enough, we do need to be more hawkish. We need to get the band. Like, why? Do you want to slow Chinese torture, or do you just want to rip it off, get the gusher over with, and then get back on a normal? Me, I'm more of a like you got duct tape on your arm, right? Do you want it nice and slow, or you want that wax strip on your chest, like for Kurt? I know Kurt gets his chest wax. I know he doesn't sit there and say, do it nice and slow. He's like, yank that bitch off. Let's see. The point of alternative layer ones is that you can share liquidity and can build apps across chains like DFK. Now, ETH is going to rely on their layer 2 to scale. Can you build DFK in Immutable X and have it communicate with Harmony? No. Probably, but now it is not easy. So as you can see, so there's different forms of layer 2s, right? So the point of alternate is you can share liquidity. I don't know, man. There's a lot to digest there, and it's still such a new, it's all still such a new technology. We don't know what's going to develop for sure. But I mean, right now, like the beacon chain is them going, they want sharding, just like what Harmony One already has. I mean, they brag that they have it, but they're not doing it that great, as far as I know. But again, that's a new chain, so we're not going to hold too much against them. I mean, the whole layer 2 and all this stuff, it's weird to a certain degree. Again, I don't know who's going to survive. I don't know if Immutable X is going to survive. Polygon is a layer 2, but it's also its own chain. There's a lot going on here, and I'm by no means an expert. I just kind of understand some of it to a certain degree, and then I get to a point where, like, all right, I'm not going to spend my entire day becoming an expert on this Polygon layer 2. You know what I'm saying? I understand ZK rollups, and I understand what's the other one? I can't even. There's ZK rollups, and then there's the one that like Polygon is. I don't even fucking remember anymore. I'm not saying I'm Vitalik or anything, just telling you as it is today and based on talks with some dev friends. Probably it will improve in the future, but as of today, it is not possible. And what's a lower UX? What is not possible? Right now, Ethereum is relying on its layer 2s to scale. But once it goes proof of stake and sharding, I don't know that that's as much as is true anymore, right? ZK rollups, just regular rollups, right? That still relies on the security, and those are considered layer 2, right? Arbitrum, the other one, those are considered layer 2, and that still relies on the Ethereum, blockchain to the blocks, verify the blocks. Polygon, I think, is a layer 2, but it's its own, like it doesn't. So, I mean, I'm not sure on that one, or maybe they broke away now. Optimistic, yeah. Vitalik himself said proof of stake. Yeah, but the proof of stake doesn't mean sharding. They're gonna do sharding. I mean, that's the same way Harmony's scaling. They will still rely heavily on layer twos. Yeah, maybe. I mean, your dev friends are gonna know more than me. Maybe, probably. All right, did I get everything covered with Victor and Tom? I think I did. The hopium, I got some hopium for you boys and girls. We'll have to see how this plays out. I think obviously tomorrow is a big day. I wouldn't be making any big decisions till tomorrow. And even then, if the Fed only does 50 basis points, we're walking on eggshells again, right? I don't want to walk on eggshells. Go 200 basis points. I legitimately am okay with a 200 basis point hike. Go 500. Go balls to the walls. Go 500 basis points. I mean, let's get it done. Let's get it over with. Let's show the world that we're big boys. We can put our big boy pants on, just like we did in 2008. In 2008, most of you were probably only 7, and your parents maybe cut your allowance a little bit. For example, Chad Knight, he was probably 8 or 9 years. No, he was probably like 7 in 2008, and they're like, son, Chad Knight, things are really bad right now. We're gonna have to cut your allowance down to $1 a day instead of the $5 a day. We're gonna shoestring budget. We're gonna start buying generic toilet paper, shit like that. And we got to show the world that we've been too greedy for a while, and then we got to pick ourselves back up. That's what we did back in 2008. And then it took us about 2 years to start getting really greedy again. And now we're in a situation again. Let's see. Let's find this. Yeah. So right here at, we're getting our commercials from Dodge and Clint Eastwood and, American Pride, and we're getting our credit rating. The United States credit rating was getting knocked down, and Obama is coming in and doing his thing. I mean, doing his thing to help recover the market because it was all Bush's fault. I'm kidding. I just want to rile up some Republicans. Taco Bell, Wendy's, 99-cent value. Everyone's lowering prices. We're all in this together. And then after a certain point, everyone's like, greed back on. Time to get greedy. Let's pump out and now we're back. Now we're back to this cycle. This cycle will never be broken. Greed, and then shit blows its top off, and then everyone's during the problem is during this time the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So it's a battle. It's a battle to move yourself from the poor to the rich, and it's a tough ass battle, right? When you're like mid-income, like me, middle class, them taxes don't work for you. I got destroyed on taxes, and now I'm getting destroyed in the market. I'm crying. You didn't even know. I'm down almost $750,000. I might as well. The biggest mistake I made is I didn't order the tent. I didn't order my tent. I didn't order like some camping gear, a sleeping bag, an outdoor grill, so that I can move into the backyard of Kurt when he gets in Texas, right? When he moves to Texas. I'm gonna be living under the underpass here pretty soon. I mean, that's how tough it is. Now I got to sit here and grind it out, shoestring budget. I can't afford Netflix anymore. I can't afford HBO anymore. Wait, first world problems. I got to cut back on some of my Costco groceries. I got to go lean. Heaven forbid. There's one thing I won't give up, and that's my sriracha. You will have to pry sriracha from my cold dead hands. How many people do we even have in the chat? Yeah, there's only you and Casca. It looks like the 6 people, 6 likes. Hell yeah. Yeah, some other people speak up. What you got to say? 6 people, 7 likes. Man, I tell you what, the like machines on the like machines today is on swole. You know what's weird? I lost a subscriber. I'm back down to 1230. So I keep gaining one and then I keep losing one. My channel is on like freaking, it just can't get any steam going. I had 79 views on this, 251 views on this, and I've basically lost subscribers. Do I just give up? Do I just throw in the towel? I mean, I don't care about my subscriber count for the most part, but at a certain point, it's just like, I don't understand what's going on here. I really don't. All right, let's take a quick look at the stock market. Coinbase, of course. You need to suck some D to Jack in the house. No, Twitch. You know, I considered that. Twitch is changing their policy where you can stream. Like Twitch has this policy, you're not allowed to stream on other networks. If you have to be, but I think they're changing that. So I might, in the future, I might multi-stream to more things, and I might branch out. TikTok. I don't freaking know, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, like for example, last 2 nights, I actually get more views at nights, even though I built this channel mostly off on the day. So Jack in the house, team huge manatee in the house. I love that name, Team Humanity. I have so much fun. Like I don't have as much fun in the morning just because I'm so dog ass tired right now. I have fun usually as the caffeine picks up. I start having a lot more fun, but I'm getting really good. I've gotten really good view. I mean, it's a lot of the same people too, for the most part. But I'm getting the last 2 nights. I've gotten way more views than I've ever gotten in the morning. So maybe I should just cut the morning stream. No, I'm not going to do that. How are we not going to do that market open? But yeah, I might. It's better for streaming. Yeah. Again, I'll probably start multi-streaming sometime here in the future. I'm not going to do Facebook, but we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm not overly worried about it, but it is weird. It is a bit weird. And I'm dealing with this whole, like, I can't even fix my monetization problem. And Team YouTube is just like completely like not listening to the fact. I'm probably just going to have to go get a business license, and I don't want to deal with that headache either. All right. Anyway, the hopium. Actually, no, we were going to do the stock market. I want to do the stock market really quick, just because I do have some positions. I don't think there's anything to manage there, but I want to talk about my covered strangle. So tasty in the morning. Drink your coffee. It's hot. Oh no. It's hot. Oh no. There's a lot of people that have left Twitch for YouTube. They're also cutting, like Twitch is, their proposals, like they want to take more money. I think it's like a 70-30 split or something like that. You can negotiate up to, and now they want to take more money away. They're getting greedy, right? Because of their bottom line. Personally, I don't like Twitch. Twitch is depending, I guess, I don't know how it works, but man, there's so many freaking commercials over there. And it's not like YouTube, you know, Twitch Prime used to mean you didn't have to watch commercials, I think. Now you have to subscribe to the person, or you just get into that. There's some people over there that just run a shitload of ads. Like sometimes it's every 2 minutes on some channels. So that's super annoying. I don't like that at all. That's what I love about YouTube. I mean, speaking of shoestring budget, I should cut my YouTube Red subscription or whatever, the YouTube Premium, but that shit ain't gonna happen. I watch too much YouTube, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna start watching commercials. I also read or someone, I forget what it was on, but there's a study that all the millennials don't care. That's the thing. The millennials are so used to having all those commercials, it doesn't even faze them. It's no big deal. But that's one of the reasons speaking of which, that's one of the reasons I can barely watch sports anymore. The commercials drive me insane. So the watching my favorite team is too much pain and pressure. Golden State won. Son of a bitch. Is that going to go to 7 games? All right, Coinbase. Let's take a look at my profit loss overall. I'm down $1,768, but that's not going to capture some. Oh, I think this will tell me. I think there's a way to look at this. Chains. My cost basis. $11.58, $7.28. Total profit and loss. I made $8. No, this ain't $13. What is going on here? I don't know how to read that. Oh, that's just how much I made on the strangle. So I made, there's no way that's right, is it? And why is that changing so much? 40, 50. Hmm. All right. $23. So I guess this means I've made $230 in options, or maybe like I don't. I guess I would have to call Tasty. All right. So the put I originally got $5.25, around $2, and then I rolled it for another $2 credit. So I made like $4 on the put, and it's overall it's only down 10. So I'm doing really good there. I mean, we'll have to see how this plays out. I can roll down the call more. I probably should. Let's take a look at this. I've made $40 since I've rolled this out. I got another credit. What did I get? I got another $4.30 credit on top of the 2 initial credits that I got. You know, around $2 or $3 on this. Rolled it down, got another $1. So that's like $4, and I've gotten like $8 in credit on this bitch and just been pulling money out of it. I don't know that I'm eagerly want to roll this down too aggressively. I couldn't roll this down to 75, and that wouldn't be the worst play in the world. The chance of it touching 75 is only 17% at this point. But what are the chances we get a rally? You know what? I should roll it down because I think what is the market pricing in based on the Fed? I'm just gonna leave this alone. I'm not gonna tweak. I'm not gonna tinkle. No, what do they call it on the God dang it. I can't even the league. Rexton always messes with his lineup on the toilet in the morning. I forget what they call it, but I'm not gonna All right. I didn't know you were a millennial, Retro. You're not a millennial. There's no way you're a millennial. A millennial means you were only like SETI's a millennial. Like what is the definition of a millennial? I guess 30 years old, does that still make you a millennial? I mean, I feel like that's very loose interpretation. There's some people that call me a millennial just because I'm so millennial minded. But I'm Gen X. SETI is Gen Y. What is the definition? I can't even spell millennial. A person born in the what? Okay, I didn't realize that. So a millennial could be 40 years old? 42? I thought millennials would have been like... Said he is Gen Z. Which one is he? Oh, Gen Y is the same as Gen... The Zoomer dip. I never heard that, but that's pretty good. I didn't know millennials started in 1980. I would have said like I can go with 1990. Name generations in the world. I'm Gen X. Millennials 1981 to 96. Today I learned SETI is Gen Z. And now we got Generation Alpha. That's a dope ass name right there. Well, why do these? Every generation's more of a pussy, right? If you don't, like I admit that I'm more of a pussy than the baby boomers, right? I like my my window's open. My vagina is gaping compared to baby boomers, but the millennials, like you could drive a semi through that vagina, and every year it gets wider and wider, right? No offense to women, but it's just a reference, right? Today, these like Generation Z and Generation Alpha, like this right here is just future evidence of why we're gonna fail, right? Yeah, there's a lot of like smart people coming out, future thinking, forward thinking, and this and that. But these are the most self entitled brats like I've ever every year like this. I started here. Oh, Tom, you can be president if you wanted to, but no one ever really. Like 99% of the kids like, yeah, mom and dad, shut up. But then it started sinking in. And by now, like, oh, everyone thinks they're a fucking rock star, rap star, athlete, and they deserve everything, right? Everyone has the Charlie Sheen mentality, like out of the womb, right? And every generation is just more and more of a pansy, right? So eventually, we're screwed. Whoa. Yeah, sorry, Casca. Yeah, the alpha's a triple full-blown virtual sentience. I'm hoping those are the efforts that will embrace crypto blockchain. Yeah, so no, definitely, right? You know what? I was watching a good video by our boy Jeremy Lefevre yesterday. Let's see if we can find it real quick. I haven't gotten to the alpha yet. Or the Hopium. I got Hopium for you boys and girls. Update Bitcoin. I haven't watched this one yet, but so I want to see what he has to say. I think this is an update to a video he did last night. Yeah.
Well, folks, the financial...
It's only 4 minutes long, maybe So he's talking about the Bitcoin and Ethereum collapse right here. You know, he's talking about Celsius. And then he goes on this thing that I don't really agree about. He was saying that, it's too early for Bitcoin. I agree with that. It's too early for Bitcoin to prove that it's a good store of value. I agree with that, but I believe that it will become a great store of value. It hasn't proved. Major in the house. How you doing, brother? I will get to that question. God, yeah, they you know that they're developing like hunch necks and shit because they're always on their phone. Yeah, I don't know at the bottom. The bottom on Jewel is 0. At this point, I think Jewel might not succeed. I'm not even joking. There's some shit going on over there. If you can read between the lines, it may be a soft rug. They might not even have the money to survive. And the founders and shit, they've already cashed in. They don't like this is an escape hatch for them if they want to. Like, what are you gonna do? You don't? Do you even know who some of the founders are? And like, what are you gonna do if they legitimately? What if they legitimately blew and don't have enough reserves to survive? Like you can't go after them legally. You know what I mean? It's just like a business going bankrupt. They didn't defraud us or whatever. So I don't know that DeFi. If you don't see me investing in shit when it comes to DeFi blockchain gaming, people keep bringing this stuff up, and I'm like, look, I hope it succeeds. I still got money on Defikingdoms. I still got money in. I mean, Mars is a free ride, thank God. I don't think that one's going to survive. I got a little bit of money in Knights and Peasants, and I got a little bit of money in Evoverse. I've considered all of that gone. Crystal Veil, $50,000. I've considered it gone. It is what it is. I don't think they're, as of right now, I think they're more likely to not survive than they are to survive. Pot odds are they won't survive, Defikingdoms included. Anyway, so he was talking about how Bitcoin's not proven as a store of value. I agree. But he's also talking about like gold has proven itself, and gold is the store of value. It's been around for hundreds of years and stuff. Yes, but there's a changing of the guard. In that changing of the guard, everyone makes an act like it's going to happen overnight. Well, in 20 years, it might feel like it's overnight, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. Bitcoin is hands down a superior store of value to gold. And you're a freaking moron if you don't. The only argument you have is if, and this is more like and he also points out that a lot of the people that buy gold are end of the world apocalypse. But how many people actually have gold in their house? They're buying gold as end of the world. Are you stupid? Like, unless you actually have the physical gold in your freaking safe, what is the end of the world apocalypse? How is that gold going to do you any good if you can't get a hold of it? If it's on some exchange that the computers are down, or you know what I'm saying? You have no way to transfer it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So Bitcoin's no different in that regard either, until they figure out some way to do transactions, I guess, without computers and shit, which I don't even think is possible at this point, but maybe. And maybe Starlink and putting nodes up on the moon and Mars is probably going to be a thing in the next 50 to 100 years. We're going to have nodes and satellites. I think we already have an Ethereum node on the space station, don't we? I don't know. I might be talking out of my ass on that. But what are you going to do? Like there's always going to be solar power. So you're always going to be able to, they're going to come. Jesus Christ, Tom. Like, why are you giving away $1 trillion ideas? A freaking ledger that has Starlink, or a Trezor that has Starlink and solar power. End of the world. You'll be able to do Bitcoin transactions. I mean, I guess there would have to be some nodes up in space that still work, but you know what I'm saying. We'll get there. But gold again, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk down to the 7-Eleven with your bag of gold and buy in the supermarket? Do you think they're gonna like the only currency at the end of the world is gonna be bullets? And whoever survives that freaking onslaught, you're effed, right? You're effed. Anyway, that got dark. Anyway, oh, actually, I want to see. Let's see what his
Well,
update
folks, the
is.
financial markets are evolving very rapidly.
Now, of course, he's going to promote the Hungry Bull
with everything that's going on. Bitcoin and Ethereum have been absolutely collapsing for several days now. Now, I have good news in this update, okay, for you in regards to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we're going to get into, are these gains going to hold? What's going on here? Is the stability going to hold? And I'll explain that in just a moment. So don't get too excited about this, essentially, okay? But nonetheless, Bitcoin's holding in the 22s right now. Ethereum's holding in the 1200 range. And this is big, okay? This is a big moment because these babies have been in complete free fall for a bit here, and I'll explain in just a moment why these have stabilized. There's one reason and one reason only why these have stabilized in price, okay? But you pull up a one-day chart of Bitcoin. This baby was just in complete free fall, and we bought them just under 21.
I wonder what his reason is, because I have a reason too.
Just under 21,000. 25 was a huge kind of barrier, and once we broke through 25 for Bitcoin, it was a snap of fingers and we were down to 20,000, right? The 20,000 range. Like, when you break through these important price points, the decline is so rapidly. You see that in stocks all the time, and in crypto it's just as big. 20 is a big number for Bitcoin. If we break through 20, then you're down to 15, and the prices just erode very, very quickly when you break a big range. Ethereum, that price is 1,000. If you break 1,000, you're down to 800 pretty darn quickly. So when it comes to Ethereum here, this baby bottomed at...
this is a pretty simplistic view of support and resistance. Let's just pick a nice, fat, even number.
Why did they start to go up? And I'll explain if these gains are going to hold. The reason Bitcoin and Ethereum started to go up was futures opened for the stock market, okay? And then they turned green. And as soon as stock market futures turned green, Bitcoin and Ethereum stopped their free fall and they started to go up. As soon as those futures turned green, and the more green they turned, the more Bitcoin went up and the more Ethereum went up. Now, if let's say roles were reversed, let's say right now the NASDAQ futures were down 1.3%, the S&P 500 was down 1%.
All right, I agree and I disagree. I mean, here's the deal. These worlds are colliding. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's necessarily because the futures went up. It just people were buying again. The bids, like it started hitting the stock market starting hitting a point where like, yeah, let's start buying again. And the crypto's starting to hit a point where it starts buying again. And this is my opium for you right now. Bitcoin is finding support on the 200. We talked about this quite a lot last night, and this is a pretty big deal. It's coming down to the 200, and it's going to find support right here. This is critical. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if the stock market goes into a free fall, Bitcoin is probably not going to hold this 200. It's probably going to be the first time in the history. And it is right around 20,000, but the reason 20,000 works for this is because that's a good support and resistance. We're right at where the previous all-time high was, 19,300. That's a big one. If it dips below that, we're in trouble because it's never done that before. It's never breached the previous all-time high on the way down. But there's a lot of things different. This bull market cycle was different. The entire overall market is different. Again, one of the things they talked about with Victor Jason Chill Baggins in the house. How you doing, brother? One of the things again they talked about, Tom Sosnoff and Victor Jones, is shit. I can't remember now. Brain fart. Lottie dottie. I don't freaking remember. What was that? So 200. This is the hopium right here. The wick's coming up. We got to see where this closes on Sunday. I think tomorrow, my prediction for tomorrow, they're going to do a 75-point basis hike. I don't think it's enough. I think they should go honestly, I think they should go 200. Rip that shit off. Let's get a big fat wick. And then the buying pressure will eventually start coming back in. You're going to catch a bid somewhere. And when we start catching bids, that's, again, lump sum versus dollar cost average. If you're a dollar cost average person, go for it. Right now, I got a lump sum. I'm ready. When I engage in this market, I will be lump summing. I will be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and Harmony, and I will do it all basically in one day. I won't worry about whether I bought too early, bought too late. I will make that. As of right now, it's almost impossible to get it wrong. Again, are we much closer to a bottom or are we much closer to a top? I mean, mathematically speaking, 20,000 is a lot closer to zero than it is to 70,000. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's just a matter of how long this lasts. Like it was mentioned earlier, things are at shorter duration now. The market is telling the Fed that they have to do 75 or 100. Please do 100 points tomorrow. Please, J Powell. Let's get this over with. Do 200. Do 500. I'm not even joking. Let's get it over with. Let's get this pain over with. I'm tired of this every month. Every freaking month. For like the last 3 months, 4 months, it's been like, oh, what CPI data, oh, interest, oh, what, how many rate hikes, how much? Let's just start getting the shit done, guys. Like, why? What like, inflation's out of control. We gotta get that under control. You know what I'm saying? Wage price spirals and all this. So for me, let's do it tomorrow. I can't freaking wait. If I were the market and they only did a 50 basis point hike, I think that's more disastrous than anything at this point. Throw that coffee down your throat hole. It's hot. Oh no. Why do you do that to me, Jason? I've already done that like 3 times. But if you... stacks. What did I miss here? What is the bottom for BTC? I'm not buying... Obviously, I don't think this is going to happen. But I put 10 grand or bust. That's when I would buy. I want it to go to 3 grand. I want it to go to 1 grand. 1K or bust. 10K. 10G doesn't work. Let's make it 10K. 10K or bust. Yeah, when they said inflation was it is transitory, bro. I mean, what's the definition of transitory? Inflation is transitory. It's just, what is your transitory timeline? I mean, what was transitory? Was it 1 month, 2 years? Like if inflation's only lasts for 2 years, it was transitory for 2 years. They didn't lie to us. Just got a little hot coffee on my nose. That shit hurt. All right. That's your hopium. It is seemingly finding support at the 200. The only time it's really ever breached that was during COVID. And even then, the wick, it was just a wick. So right now, same thing. We're just a wick. This might be the bottom. Has Capo updated? Oh, that lazy fuck. All right, he's got an update. New target for VTC, 18 to 20K. He keeps moving his lines like savvy. I will let you know when to enter the market. 18 little so I feel like fuck. Let's edit this. Fuck. In Capo, I'm going to be a lemming. I'm going to do what Capo tells me to do. God dang it. When Capo says to buy, that might be my buy indicator. This guy is the most reliable. You hate him, but he's right. He's been right. He's been calling this and he has not given up. He did not buy any of the fake rallies. He's been the most find someone that's been more spot on than this, bro. Find someone. I dare you. I triple dog dare you. They apologize. Well, I mean, it's still transitory. What's the definition of transitory? It's not permanent. Inflation. you can't be wrong. It's not permanent. What about, oh, do we need to do a Hershey's chocolate check? Lip check? Crypto, please. That guy's, he costs people a lot of money on Luna. I mean, it wasn't his fault. He's late. He's always late. He was early on Bitcoin, early on Ethereum, late on Cardano. Like, he's down massive. Like, he got Bitcoin and Ethereum right. I don't think he's gotten anything right. Ricky in the house. You know what, Ricky, you asshole? I was looking at my metrics yesterday, and it was, let's see if I can find it real quick. Did you dislike again today? Look at this, everyone. Bringing my percentages down, making me 12 likes, 1 dislike. That's Ricky right there. I'm at 100% right now, and we're live. Oh, you know what? Who is this sexy mofo? How are we doing on the likes right now? You guys should all be liking me. I haven't bored you with my validator talk this morning. It's tasty in the morning. Those lyrics aren't right, but those are the ones I keep going to. So tasty. It's hot. Oh no. Nine likes. Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. 6 more likes before I can drop the Discord link, though. That 15, it's got to be tough, and 15's tough. Maybe I should lower it to like 12 or 13, but nope. Something to achieve for. Something to achieve for. You should have never. Oh yeah, that's fine. Gutierrez in the house. How you doing, brother? Crypto Savvy was more accurate and still is. I don't. No. Crypto Savvy's been calling for 9,000. And he was wrong quite often on the way up. Now, I've said this before, Crypto Savvy's been more right than 99% of YouTubers. He's been calling for, but dude, at the end of the day, like, Crypto Savvy was eventually going to be right. Eventually we were going to go into a crypto market. So Crypto Savvy's timeline was horrible, but at the end of the day, he's been right. I think he said we wouldn't get to 100,000, and when Bitcoin was 60,000 both times, he was calling for 9,000, the first 60,000, and the second like 70,000. He was calling for 9,000 the whole time, and he said we would never. I think he said he would. So again, he was more right than 99% of crypto. But this guy, Capo, he got it right on the way up. And then he's like, yep, this is time to sell. And he called his target 22,000. And he held fast during every single like fake pump up. He's like, this is a fake pump up. This is a trap. Don't fall for it. Everyone in the Discord is like, oh, this guy needs to shut up. We don't want him to be right. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what, guys? He almost nailed it to the penny. And now he's calling for 18,000. 18 would be crazy. I agree with little portfolio, because that would be a cycle break. That would be the first time in the history of the asset that's only 12 years old. What, maybe 13 years old now? 12 and a half, somewhere around there. So really, its history is like non-existent. So who cares if this is the first time it breaks its previous? I don't mean shit. Who cares if it falls below eventually it's going to fall below the 200 weekly SMA and hang out for a while. Eventually, right? Eventually all those cycles will break. And maybe this is the time. Again, this is the first time the stock market, like the S&P officially went into a bear market yesterday. Like, you're living under a rock if you didn't already assume that was going to happen. Like, it wasn't officially in a bear market until yesterday, but it's been in a bear market. Are we in a recession? We're waiting to hear if we're in a recession. You're a freaking idiot if you think the data's not going to come out, and unless we get a like melt your face off rally that starts right now, and we go up like just crazy, just moonshot for every day forward, right? You are out of your freaking mind living under a rock if you think the data is not going to show we're in a recession. We don't got it yet, but you can guarantee that shit's coming. Yes, Capo nails it. He's in my opinion. Are you a crypto savvy subscriber? Do you pay to be in his Discord and all that? I have nothing against cryptos. Well, he's a little too negative for me, but he's what's that bastard cat? He said 18 grand, Retro. Like, what are you doing? We've mentioned it 37 times. All right, what was I? Oh, we were going to do a Hershey's chocolate check. He hasn't done a video this morning. I think Cryptos R Us is 32 minutes ago. Okay. Bitcoin bounce coming. Did he have a fudge bar? Did he have a fudge? No.
Welcome back.
He's got a nice. Oh, what's that right there? Is that a little bit of chocolate?
Stream today.
Or is that just some skin pigment? Do we have to go to some other video data? It's looking like maybe he didn't wipe the chocolate off his lip enough today.
1,000. Did we finally find a bounce?
Now lay off the fudge. Anyone good at artwork? That we need to like that needs to be an emoji. We have a George emoji with some like chocolate dripping off his lip.
And what's going on with Celsius? So let's get started.
Yeah, I definitely want that as an emoji. George with like chocolate coming off his lip.
All my streams. Follow me on social media.
If you guys haven't seen Jordan Cameron making fun of George, it's some funny shit. Let's see. So tasty.
Look at the 200 SMA, man. We are sitting. Broke the lows.
There it is. Is that George?
This clump.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention to the clump. All right, we are clumped up. It means the bottom's in for Bitcoin. You need to FOMO in right now. I will tell you right now, the carnage ain't over. It ain't over, man. It ain't over. I am very convinced in that. All right. And where do we want to close today? I don't think it really matters, you know. Guys, what do you actually? Let me ask you guys in the chat. Where do you think the fear and greed index will be? If the fear and greed index is anything higher than a 5, I'm calling bullshit on that thing. I am calling absolute bullshit if the fear and greed index is not lower than a 5. There's no way. I am calling absolute bullshit on that. Absolute bullshit on that. What does George think about the fear and greed index? Let's see. Let's see. I am George. We're all George. Guys, you need to keep looking at the fear and greed index. It is continuing to clump. Okay? It is continuing to clump. You guys need to pay attention to this. All right? Every time that Bitcoin clumps on the fear and greed index, it marks a bottom for Bitcoin. Okay? You need to pay attention to this clump. You need to pay attention to the clump. All right? We are clumped up. It means the bottom's in for Bitcoin. You need to FOMO in right now. All right, DCA, HODL, continue to FOMO because we are clumped up. All right. Shit, man. Let me end the stream. I gotta end the stream. I hope my viewers know. This is such a bullshit indicator, man. This shit doesn't mean anything. I just can't think of anything else to talk about. Do I really have to keep talking about the fear and greed index every day? This thing doesn't mean shit. It's clumping. It's clumpy. Oh, Lord. Lord. What do we got?
Yeah, dude, he was wearing a Burger King crown. He was like, there was a point like during the height, I want to say last November, he was supposed to be a guest on Cryptos R Us. Cryptos R Us has had like this weird history. I'd love to be on the fly on the wall on some of these conversations. remember George created DCA with Invest Answers and that other guy. I like that other guy. I just can't remember his name right now. Freaking Digital Asset News. And DCA, and then George stepped away from it. If I had to guess, I would guess George felt like he probably deserved most of all the money from all those streams. And, the other bros were like, oh, I want to host it on my channel. So, I bet there's, and maybe, I'm not saying it's totally greed. I mean, if it is taking money out of your pocket because instead of being on that, you can make more money by just streaming. I get all that, but I feel like he probably stepped away from DCA just because of like pride and money. And DCA still continues with the other two guys. And I think they've had like different people on it with like Benjamin Cohen and shit. I think Benjamin Cohen's the most like consistent one. I haven't been watching that at all lately, but, and then Jordan was supposed to be like a I think a once a week thing on Cryptos R Us, right? And he was announcing this, and then that just it never happened. So I don't know if like he goes extra hard making fun of him. I know he doesn't have a problem with George, but I bet George sees these. If he sees those clips now, that ain't helping. That ain't helping old Jordan being on George's channel anymore. Yeah, for sure. I mean, money, and I bet there's a lot of the same thing going on. You guys may or may not watch Millennial Money, but like Meet Kevin was a big part of that, and he stepped away. I don't think money plays as much of a role because Meet Kevin doesn't have, like, you talk about someone that probably doesn't have a lot of time. So for him, I thought that was a whole weird thing too. And it was also kind of around the same time Jeremy was like giving Meet Kevin a lot of shit. And I think Meet Kevin was borderline needing to be like put into an institution at one point when with the fear of God, he was losing his ass. He sold, and his videos got really erratic with I'm a flipper and shit. So it was all a weird time. Everyone's happy. Everyone happy when stock market go up. Most people are not used to what we're seeing right now. They've all even Meet Kevin, dude. That guy wasn't investing until like 2019, right? It was all real estate to 2019, 2020. 2020 made a lot of geniuses in the stock market. And now you're starting to see that they don't know shit, just like everyone else like me that have been telling you the whole time. I don't know shit. I know how to trade it and I know how to survive it. And then the number one bit of non-financial advice I can give you is watch your size. And you got to understand what I mean by watch your size. Watch your size. If your size is 0, don't invest. If you don't have disposable income, don't invest. If you're in debt, don't invest. You are setting yourself up for almost guaranteed failure. If you don't have disposable income, you got to solve that problem, right? You got to go out and get the skills and earn the money. You got to grind it out. For 99.9% of the people, it don't come easy, right? Unless you were born with the silver spoon in your ass, generational wealth already handed to you. And there's cons to that. Maybe you don't, like, you were born with the silver spoon in your ass and you're going to be the asshole that blows your family fortune because you're an idiot, right? But for 99% of the population, it takes a lot of hard work. For me, it's taken a lot of back-breaking physical labor, and then it was a lot of brain labor, a lot of studying. I'm to this day, I'm studying for 2 different tests right now. Jesus Christ, I'm getting tired of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, technology, it never stops. I'm continually having to increase my skills, and it sucks. I'm having to spend a lot of time right now learning Azure, Office, being an Office 365 administrator and Intune administrator. That shit don't even really excite me that much. And to me, I'm just trying to keep my skills in shape so that I can continue to earn what I earn. I'm already like near the ceiling. I don't even I can't. If I were to go and ask for an 8.6% raise right now, they'd probably be like, you're out of your fucking mind. We'll give you 2 or 3%. That don't keep up with inflation, but it's okay. I'm not going to hold that against them. I still earn enough money. It's getting tougher, right? The price of groceries and everything going up. But we were living fat for the last 2 or 3 years, right? We didn't need necessarily a 4%. So now it's catching up. We're paying for it. I think the third guy in DCA wasn't pulling his weight, and George got pissed at that too. Dan, what's his name? Digital Asset News. I forget the guy's name, but you're talking about this guy? I like that guy. Digital. It was kind of clunky in the beginning. You're talking about that Rob. His name's Rob. You're talking about this guy, right? He's his own thing. He was pulling his weight just as much as George was. If anyone's not pulling their weight, it was George. George is a one-trick pony, dollar cost average, and hodl. That's the only thing George has. And he'll go out and find good articles and talk about the articles. But yeah, Rob, my size is 6 inches. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, Retro. I got hope. 6 inches is above average. I'm okay with it, brother. I'm okay with it. Don't lie. If you got 7, 8, or 9 inches.
Oh, good for you. And how was it? I hope it was fucking good because it's useless now, isn't it?
If you got 10 inches plus, really good for you. But now most women don't want anything to do with you. There's a few size queens here and there, but 6 inches gets the job done, baby. Oh, excuse me. All right. Let's see. 11 likes. Hell yeah, guys. I freaking love you so much. And gals. For all you Costcos out there. All right. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Again, the Hopium. This 200 weekly SMA is holding up right now. Let's see what the stock market's doing. It's going negative. Is Bitcoin... Why are we going down? The futures... Are we going to get another flush coming in? I need to put in an order right here. We're going to close this call for a profit at 50%. Actually, I'm going to get greedy. Oh, no, I'm just going to watch this for a while. I'm not going to do shit. Is there anything I can do in HUT? I doubt it. 31 days. I mean, I can lower my... You know what? Let's do it. All right, guys. This is a risky play. Nah. Riot, anything I can do there? I'm down too much. Nope, not gonna do it. Gold, what's gold doing? Who gives an F? It's down $15. I mean, oh, gold's holding up really well. It was $1,850 for a week, and now even gold's crashing. What's the dollar doing? We'll take a look at that. The dollar's on a SpaceX rocket ship to Mars. Silver, Jeremy Lafee bought $100,000 in silver like 3 or 4 weeks ago. How's that working out for you? Oh, not too good, is it? Oh my goodness. This idiot bought silver. I mean, what could you buy that worked out? Yep, he bought silver probably around here. So it's not, I mean, it's down a couple bucks. What were we going to look at? We were going to look at the dollar. The dollar is what makes the ladies holler. The DXY. So Jeremy was talking about how that's on an insane run, but really that just I mean, overall since March, the end of March, it is on a pretty good run. We'll go from there. So it's up, where are we at? 104. We're up 10%. We're up 10% on the dollar. We do need to see that turn around. Maybe tomorrow's the day. Let's get that 7,500 point basis. I mean, historically speaking, does this go back to the 80s? I wish I could overlay this to the interest rate. So here we are. Inflation was rampant and out of control, and they slammed down. When was the 80s interest rate hike? 80s interest rate hike. 1980, they hiked by 2% points to 19 to 20%. It's the highest ever. And then rates began drifting. All right, so 1980, they did this. 1980, so the dollar was lower than it was now. They raised interest rates, and the dollar went up like crazy for the next 5 or 6 years. I wonder if we'll see a repeat of that. So maybe cash is the king for the next 5 years. 101%. Maybe cash is king. Maybe you invest in what is the dollar? Invest in a dollar ETF or something. I know that I forget what it is. Is that the play? So 1980. Let's look at interest. United States interest rate. Let's get rid of that. I don't like that chart. You can't do candles though. 1980. All right, so they jacked that shit up right here. They jacked it up. And what, they rug pulled it and they jacked it up again? And then I guess I got things under control. So let's look at, I guess we'd have to look at the SPY, but I don't know if it goes back that far. What did the SPY do? Oh, good, it does. Not. God damn it. How do we look at the S&P that far? Oh, good. This goes back far enough. All right. Oh, we've looked at this chart. I have this bookmark too. All right. So 1980. We're going to have to go like this. Holy shit. Look at that shit, boys. As liquidity comes in, and liquidity is going to continue to come in. So 1980, they raised interest rates to an all-time high. Like the sharpest increase ever. The 88 crash was pretty bad. But that rebounded within like 2 years. This was like Black Monday, the biggest stock market crash since like the 30s, right? But 1980, they raised interest rates. It was rocky. 2 years later, it didn't really do much. But things are going to be shorter duration. You know, there's a lot more liquidity. There's a lot more access to the markets. Back in 1980, you know how many people had access for buying stocks? Barbers weren't buying stocks. Gardeners weren't buying stocks. High schoolers weren't buying stocks for the most part. Now they come out of the womb with the Robinhood app on their in their hand. Like 6-month-old babies are buying Apple now, right? Anyone can buy stocks. It's just a few clicks away. A bank account, all you have to do is be 18 years old and have a bank account and a phone. People start getting phones at the age of 6 now. Parents are giving their kids approval to do this shit like at the age of 14. Look at SETI. Look at Chad Knight. Anyway, they raised rates in 80. The S&P the next year went up 66%. 60%. Raise them shits. Tear the Band-Aid off. Let's do it. Let's YOLO the interest rates. I mean, we would be looking for a nice relief rally of about little less than a year, 50%. And then we come back down But you don't have to hold on to the pain for very long. That's 800. That's 2 years, and then it's off to the races for the next 8 years. 260%. That like a tear the Band-Aid off. What was it like? What did it say? 13 to 14% on November 2nd. Okay, November 2nd, 1982. Hey, look at the Fed. Everyone, you're just regurgitating everything. You're regurgitating Graham Stephan and every other asshole on YouTube. We don't know that the housing market's going to dump hard. It might. Let's see. The Fed fund rate began the decade at a target level in 1980. By the time officials concluded the conference call, they hiked the target range by 2 percentage points to 19 to 20%. Its highest ever. Rates then began drifting downward sharply on November 2, 1982, and then down. Yeah, so let's get it over with. Let's get this pain over with quickly and have a great investment opportunity. $80 to $82. Let's see. All right, so April. What date was that? November. No. December 5th, 1980. December 5th. Right around here. So December 5th, 1980, they really started effing shit up. It went down 23%. I'm okay with another 23% pain to the downside that lasted, 2 years. It'll be shorter. But then again, 130%. Not bad. It's time to pay the piper. And the sooner the better, in my opinion. All right, let's see what the stock market. Let's see if the bleed has stopped. The NASDAQ is green again. Like, what is going on? Besides Stacy, 7:51 a.m. Gee, many Christmas time flies. It feels like I've only been on here for 5 minutes. I got a firewall cut over to do today. I got another firewall I gotta prop up. I got a switch cut. I got a full day ahead today, which is good. I like a night, and these things so easy to me. So easy to me. I can do this shit in my sleep. So today, I made it just sound like I have a busy, full, hard day. Today's easy street, boys and girls. Why should be some critical down that F's up my life today? But I have a backup situation I still need to fix too. I don't know I'm starting to woosaw. Watch the cortisol levels, Tom. All right, what was I going to do? I was going to look at the newswire. Netflix stock keeps falling after sell call from Wall Street's most bearish analysts. Crypto suffering a long-term capital management moment. Michael Novogratz. Gold prices cede more ground as investors brace for Fed decision. Bitcoin is like digital gold. It's the first and it doesn't have unlimited supply. A MarketWatch article. Stocks tilt higher after entering bear market as Fed decision looms. Let's see. Goldsmith Romero, who the F are you, warns of similarities between crypto today and banks of 2008. Maybe. That reminds me, am I able to take self-custody? I still haven't decided whether or not I'm probably going to take self-custody. Still says I have a pending balance of 13,000. Oh, you know what I did? Oh, no, I didn't. Still says I have 15,000 in earn. So I'm taking I should take my money off BlockFi for sure. I personally would not have any assets I wouldn't have your, not financial advice. I wouldn't have any of your Bitcoin or Ethereum on places like BlockFi or Gemini where you can earn interest, because it's much more at risk when you do that. Look at Celsius, right? I mean, Celsius is a bit different because they had their 6-inch dick too deep in UST and Luna, and they're going to become insolvent. That reminds me, I never really got to the DFK going bankrupt. I think DFK. We'll take a quick look at DFK. What's going on here? The NASDAQ starting to flush down a little. But when you have your money and earn, that you're basically, for example, on Gemini, if you have your money and earn, you're earning interest and they're loaning out your crypto, right? It's supposed to be over collateralized, but do you really trust and believe those people? I mean, Celsius is just a very, very big red flag. Coinbase has recently said your crypto is not secure if they go bankrupt. So if they go bankrupt, they're basically saying they can take your crypto. We haven't really heard anything from places like Binance and Gemini, but are you really going to trust these freaking crooks? At the end of the day, they're crooks. All they care about is making their billions. They don't really. Most of them, maybe the Winklevi twins, but most of them don't give an F. Sam Bankman fraud. George actually did have a really interesting take on that last night. There was huge inflows or something into FTX, and it was coming from Celsius, and Celsius sent like $289 million in Bitcoin to FTX, and then they announced they're so Celsius is up to no good in Inglewood, crooks. Voyager, probably a bunch of crooks. So you be careful. In the past, I've been pretty on the fence about whether or not you should take self-custody of your crypto or not. Taking self-custody of your crypto is a huge responsibility. You got to make sure you do it right. You're going to want to use something like a Ledger. You're going to want to use something like a Trezor. Maybe there's some other devices out there that are more secure and suitable depending on whether you have Bitcoin or not. You're going to want to make sure you protect your keys. Right, that's one of the reasons I like the Trezor so much. You can do a Shamir B backup. I'm not going to get into all this, but a Shamir, for example, my Shamir B backup, I have 3 20-word seed phrases, 3 of them, right? You don't want to put your seed phrase up in the cloud, but with the Shamir B, I can put one seed phrase up in the cloud, secured, encrypted, right? And if that gets hacked, it doesn't do them any good. They need the second 20-word seed phrase, right? So I have seed phrases on these metal things that can survive fires. You can give a seed phrase to your mom and dad or, your adult son and have them put that in a fireproof safe, a cheap fireproof safe or something. And then you can hold on to one, or you could give one to someone like your best friend or your cousin or some shit. You know what I'm saying? People that you trust. And also you don't want to give one to one person and one to another person. And then behind the scenes, they're like, oh, you got the other seed phrase, right? You want to do this smart, but you need 2 of the 3. You could set it up 3 of 5, 4 of 7, but the more you have, the more pain in the ass it gets to recover it. That's a really great way. So I'm going to be it scares the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie. Taking self-custody scares me. For example, I'm not even going to tell you because I don't want to make it easy for you to come wrench attack me. But if you forget certain passphrases and, things like that, you can lose it all, right? You've heard stories of people losing hundreds of millions of dollars because their hard drive PIN code, they got one PIN code left or they threw their hard drive away. Yeah, transfer SUSAF. Buy puts on the home builders. How'd you lose 6? That sucks, bro. How'd you lose 0.6 BTC? We should look to capitalize on, bro. Everyone's talking about a housing crash. First of all, buying puts is less than no. I think that's a horrible idea, but go for it. Go buy some puts in Home Depot. Why would you buy puts in anything right now? I'd be looking to buy calls. Contrarian. At 0.6, I'd be crawled up into a ball right now. I mean, I lost 10 Ethereum, so 10 Ethereum and 20. I lost $50,000, so to a hack. Duck off of water's back. All right, 7:59 a.m. I got to get to work, guys. I got to take a shower. I got to wash the sweat off my nuts. Yeah, I'm gonna wash the sweat off my nuts. Gotta get some things done. Gotta do some adult stuff. I may or may not stream tonight. I really enjoy the night streams. Problem is, I tell myself I'm only gonna get on for like an hour and a half later, and 3 to 5 hours later. Anyway, let's see. I bought some BTC a long time ago when it was 200. So my actual loss. No, your actual loss is freaking like 12 grand right now, as high as like 30, 40 grand at one point. Alpine in the house. How you doing, brother? Better late than never. I'm closing it up. Anyway, again, I may or may not stream tonight. We'll have to see how it goes. Coin toss at this point. Again, I really enjoy the night streams. Worst case, yeah, it depends on how you look at it. Worst case, I'll be back 6:30 a.m. PST. The Nasdaq's trying to go red again. Love you all.